officials for this fight, Judge Joe Horn, Judge Godfrey Meyer, and Judge Marnie Smith. And our referee is going to be Elf Bukwana. Also like to welcome two South African boxers here this evening, #1 in South Africa, and also ranked #3 in the world, Corrie Sanders, and Formula WBA champion, also Dingaan Tabela. Welcome. Well, it's about over 8 rounds. It's in the welterweight division, so let's introduce our boxers. On my left, he's got the white corner. He's got the blue and gold trunks, weighing in at 65.6 kilograms. His fight record, 38 fights, 30 wins, 3 draws and 5 losses. Ladies and gentlemen, Aaron Kabi. His opponent in the white trunks, the former welterweight champion. He weighed in at 66.3 kilograms. His fight record, 29 fights, 20 wins, 2 draws and 7 losses. David Potsane.
Right, guys, we are fighting over 8 rounds. I spoke to you both in the dressing room. I want a clean fight. Okay, shake hands. Come on, fight.
Well, here we go into what promises to be a very interesting 8-rounder. There's a shadow of Lavoyo Kakaza hanging over this fight because the South African Boxing Commission have just stripped Kakaza of his welterweight title. He won't be boxing again because of that eye problem of his. And so whoever comes out of this fight can expect to be nominated as one of the fighters to fight for the vacant South African title.
Well, it should be an interesting fight. This is the 3rd match between the two. Aaron Kabi leading 2-0 at this stage. But all the fights between these two, the one was in Johannesburg and the other one in Pretoria, they were real wars. And I think we're going to see something. They're slow to start, but once they get going, possibly we'll see some action here.
Yeah, well, these are two of the most experienced fighters in the country, particularly Kabi, next to Sugar Boy Malinga, the oldest fighter.
Well, in April, he'll be 36 years old. And
yes.
on March the 3rd, David Potsane will be 33. So we've got 2 real veterans in the ring now.
Well, David and I share a birthday. Well, I'm a little older than he, but we both next Sunday will turn another year. Neither of them actually showing much the signs for their advancing ages.
Well, I mean, look at Aaron Kabi, excellent condition from a fighter going on 36, 41 fights. Really a credit to the boxing game. And so is David Potsane, excellent condition, good body tone.
Both have been former South African champions. Aaron was the junior welterweight title holder and only relinquished that when a youngster like Jan Bergman came along, and he gave Bergman 2 of his hardest fights.
Well, there was nothing much in it. I think it was about 1 point in their return fight. Bergman found him very difficult. A lot of skill as Aaron Kabi. I'd say the more skillful of the two, but Potsane packs the heavier punch.
And he's the more aggressive generally. He's the type who keeps coming forward at you, Potsane. Never gives up the ghost, comes at you the whole time. Didn't look so good in his last fight.
For an Argentinian.
He won, but he looked a little bit jaded. Perhaps he'd been out of action for a bit too long.
Well, this is a fight scheduled for 8 rounds, and I'm quite sure it'll go 8 rounds unless something unusual happens. Aaron Kabi in the gold and blue striped shorts, and David Potsane in the white shorts. Fighting in the welterweight division, when they weighed in earlier, they came in at 65.60 Aaron Kabi and David Potsane at 66.30. So both well within the welterweight limit.
You know, it's fighters like Aaron Kabi, Sugar Boy Malinga that make you wonder why they had that 35-year-old limit on for so long. I've seen fighters at 25 worn out and due to be retired, but fighters like this at 35 are looking pretty good.
You know, Aaron Kabi's had a long career. He hasn't had many. His fights have been spread out over the years, so a very quiet opening round, just a feeler.
Okay, I have one pathway. Okay, but use a jab, especially I'm a high moon. One how it left you have one in it. Okay, just stick there. Okay, use a jab all the time, up and down. Right now it's nice and it's very fast. Right well right here. Okay.
Well, into the second round of this welterweight contest, scheduled for 8 rounds here at the Morula Sun.
Interesting that to hear instructions being given on the corner, and I wonder how much it really means, because these two wily old customers, been around for so long, they know one another inside out. They must be thinking the pattern of the fight themselves. They must have their own ideas of exactly what they're going to do in here.
Well, they've had 2 fights previously. They must know each other by now. Possibly they're rather weary of each other because of the previous fights. It started off very slowly. Their 2 previous fights, they really got in there and banged away right from the beginning.
Yes, when Kabi does go forward, which isn't often, but when he does go forward, he can be quite an impressive type of boxer. He gets going, and he looks good doing it.
Yeah, well, he's a negative fighter, but you've got to push him. And once you push him into it, he looks good. Well, that's all the skill, yeah. Years of experience, and you can see it. Not wild stuff. Possibly the customers don't like this, but 2 good, experienced fighters in the ring, yeah.
Oh, they'll like it just now when it really warms up. They're feeling one another out still. There's a long way to go, 8 rounds. The interesting setup here is that the #1 contender for that vacant welterweight title is Peter Malinga, the Transvaal champion. And he's in the same stable as Potsane, so if Potsane pulls this one off, there's going to be a bit of a problem. And he could do it if he throws good right-handers like that, and Kabi lets himself get clipped with them.
Well, Kabi does get careless. It's happened throughout his career. He's been dropped a few times. He leans back, and he hasn't got the speed he used to have, so he can get tagged.
Two cagey customers up here.
Clever there. See how Kabi moved him out of the corner. Very clever.
Had a crack at the All-Africa title last year, did Kabi, but
Lost on points. I think it was 12 rounds, yes. But, you know, he fought in Africa, so who knows, you know. Was the decision fair?
good left-handers he's throwing in there. Of course, Potsane had that tremendous grueling battle with Kakaza out in Springs when he tried to regain his welterweight title, but just couldn't make it.
It was a very hard fight, that. And then he fought Carlos Arita, which you mentioned earlier on, the Argentinian. He didn't look that good, but he did enough to win. He won fair enough. But possibly ring rust came into it.
Kabi finding his way through with a left jab and a shorter half hook, half uppercut to the head with the same hand.
A bit around for Kabi, scoring with that left hand.
Yes, he's settling down more now, and he's very clever the way he threw that left hand round the corner like that.
Possibly he just shaded that round with the better left hands coming in.
Right, the feet down. You got it right. But don't just get careless, right? Don't just get careless, right? Okay? Yeah, don't just get careless. You got to fight in the back. Just keep on pushing that right hand. The right hand, that will beat them more. Because the way are flowing right now. Jab hand right beats them more. Let's do the flow. Okay? Right. How do I count? How do I jab a feather? You throw 2 punches on top of his jab.
All right.
Yeah. But you hit.
Round 3. And we're live at the Morula Sun in Northwest Province of South Africa, going live to a number of nations now in the Supersport tournament. At the ringside here, it's Leonard Neal with me, Ron Jackson.
Well, this is a good fight, an interesting fight here, a welterweight contest between 2 real old campaigners, David Potsane, the former welterweight champion of South Africa, and Aaron Kabi in the blue and gold shorts, the former junior welterweight champion. All the science and skill coming through here in the first 2 rounds.
Kabi actually picking his shots very nicely now. He's settled down into a nice little pattern, And a left hand working overtime. He's getting it through to the head and jabs and hooks. Very sporting. A low blow goes in, they quickly acknowledge it. Say sorry to one another, get on with the fight.
Wow.
They've been together so long, they know one another inside out.
Well, a good jab coming out there from Kabi, and this has been piling up the points. He did possibly enough to shade the second round, and he's picked up from that second round, and he's carrying on here in the third round and scoring with that left hand of his.
Yeah, Potsane doesn't seem to have much in the way of stoppage against that left hand of Kabi's. Kabi's getting through with it quite easily. Potsane looking for the one big punch, and that's probably his drawback.
He's too static, not throwing enough punches, not throwing combinations, throwing one punch at a time, and this is the problem with Potsane.
Kabi letting Potsane do the work, come on top of him, and then he throws in 1, 2, 3 in a hurry. He gets through with most of them, and that's where he's scoring.
Well, that's Aaron Kabi, the classic counter puncher. He loves to counter punch. He lets you come at him, and then he picks you off.
Nice display of boxing here from Aaron Kabi.
This is what it's all about. This is the showing you what boxing's all about, Joe.
Almost casual in his movements, calmly moving around the ring.
It's possibly a more positive Aaron Kabi tonight. Seen a lot of his fights where he's very negative, but tonight he's going forward and he's scoring. And there we go, picking off Potsane as he comes in with the counter punches.
Potsane,
Goeie combinatie daar.
he's sort of lumbering forward with some of those shots, not doing enough to worry Kabi.
Well, he's making the mistake of coming straight at Kabi. Just walking after Kabi, and this is where he's making a mistake. A bit of blood coming out of Potsane's nose there. He's taken a few shots in the nose in this third round.
Yeah, well, that left hand of Kabi's has been finding it marked like it did then. He pumps it out, he shoots it out, and he's catching Potsane with it repeatedly.
Well, this is the best I've seen Aaron Kabi box for a long time. And next month, this is April, he'll be 36 years old. A credit to the man.
Taking up. Okay. Now, but now we have to like it. How is three to tell away?
Well, there's some action here from that third round, and you can see these shots coming in from Aaron Kabi.
Just keep working. Nice and fast. Move around. You keep missing.
We're going to round 4 of the scheduled 8-rounder in the welterweight division between Aaron Kabi in the blue and gold shorts, the blue gold stripes, and David Potsane in the white shorts. A very interesting fight over the first 3 rounds. I would say Aaron Kabi's done enough to shade 2 of the 3 rounds.
Yes, he's boxing pretty skillfully as Aaron. He's looking good tonight. You know, he's, shall we say, showing his age, because instead of bouncing around the ring a lot and wasting himself, he's very conservative, boxing calmly, doing everything correct. And as you see there, that's the way he's doing it. He's allowing Potsane to make the moves. He's coming back with wonderful counter punches, scoring snappily close range, and doing most of the work. And he's getting it through with most of the blows. Potsane hasn't landed very many good ones.
Well, Potsane's trying to land the big one, and this is where he's making the mistake. And Aaron Kabi is just picking him off and landing with the cleaner punches. And this is the difference between the 2 fighters. Very sporting contest. It's nice to see them just touching gloves like that. And this has been right throughout.
Yes, there's been no need for referee Alpakwana to do much in this fight at all, really.
Well, it's been a very easy fight for Alpakwana. Himself a former fighter, a good featherweight in the, must have been the late 50s, early 60s.
Oh, there was a nice right uppercut from Kabi. A beautiful counter puncher, because he let Potsane come right on top of him, but waited and let that right hand go.
That was right out of the textbook, Leonard.
Step back.
David Potsane is going to have to do something. He's going to have to pick up his work right here, let the punches flow to get back into this fight, because he's let Naren Kabi steal it away from him.
Well, he did get through with one nice left hand to the head then, but he seems to be a little bit befuddled at times, not too sure what to do next, because he just can't catch. Kabi has developed a very useful sway of the body. Instead of going backwards as much as he does, he lets the body do the work now, and that's putting Potsane completely out of his stride.
Well, it's very difficult to land blows because of this movement, the body movement. Oh, good right hand coming there from Kabi to the jaw.
Right. Watch it. Turn out.
No longer do we see that same forceful action coming from Potsane that we used to know. He was quite a dreadnought. He was a fighter who would come on top of you and relentlessly bore you into the ground, so to speak. But that same pressure isn't there anymore. He comes forward, but it's not the same powerful Potsane of the
He seems
past.
to have lost something. He would come forward, take a few shots and land with big bombs, but he's not doing this. And I would say another round for Aaron Kabi.
Jump and go down. What about comunitas, please?
Okay. Well, some action now from that fourth round, and possibly we'll see some of those good shots coming in from Aaron Kabi. That's Aaron Kabi in the candy stripe shorts. Good body movement, swaying back there and avoiding the punches.
He rides with those blows very, very well, doesn't he? He just slips the body backwards and the punch just brushes past him.
Very, very clever fighters, Aaron Kabi.
Well, we're coming up to, it's round 5, the halfway mark in this 8-rounder. The golden oldies, as I called them earlier, Aaron Kabi and David Potsane. And
Well,
at this stage, definitely, I'd say Kabi eking ahead, moving nicely into the front here, because better boxing, better skill, better body movement.
Well, all he's got to do is stay away from those right hands of Potsane, and he can win the fight in points. The better boxer too, definitely Kabi. Looking good, the best I've seen Aaron Kabi for a long, long time.
Potsane tried to do a bit more. He realizes, I think, that he's not getting anywhere by just standing around and shuffling forward after Kabi. He's got to get in. He's got to put on the pressure if he wants to get into the fight.
No, he's got to take the fight to Kabi and let the punches go. Score the left and rights, throw the combinations. Too static. He's just walking forward and Kabi's picking him off, and that's where all the points are coming.
Some of his blows actually look almost mechanical, Potsane's, as though he's pink wound up and he's just going through the motions.
You see, as I said earlier, he's making the mistake. He's just following Kabi around the ring.
Mind your head.
Not cutting the ring off, just following him around the ring.
Box.
A bit of a bash of heads there. Good combinations coming there from Aaron Kabi.
Yeah, Potsane really tried to unleash there with both hands, and he found Kabi just not there. Very slippery, Kabi, in this fight. He's swayed the body, he's moved well.
Well, I'm quite surprised to see a fighter of his age, going on 36, still moving so well, being so sharp. At one time, I thought he was at the end of his career a couple of years back, but he can't get careless. Potsane's still got some good power in his blows, and he's got to stay away from those power shots of Potsane.
Yeah, what Kabi has done, of course, is that with age, the conservative attitude has come in more. He doesn't move around as much. He shuffles backwards, shall we say, but he does it so easily with such a smooth motion that he's a hard man to get to.
No, he's conserving himself here. You can see he's not punching wildly, conserving his energy, and this is all he's got to do. Kabi clipped him with 2 good left hands as he came in. And a third one.
That's the pattern of it. He knows that Potsane is now going to try and unleash, and he knows the target area is far bigger. Every time Potsane lets go a big shot, Kabi waits for it, split-second timing, and he gets through with a shot of his own.
He's landed about 4 or 5 now in this round. This is actually what happened in the fight with Kakaza. Kakaza fought against Potsane. Potsane did the same thing, and he was getting clipped, making the same mistake here tonight. Some action here from that 5th round, and you see Kabi just clipping him off, picking the punches and pulling away, missing. Good defensive work there from Aaron Kabi.
One, two. Okay. Just combine your punches, sir.
Okay.
All right. You follow him, you want to retaliate. So
we're going into round 6 of the scheduled 8-rounder between 2 former champions, former welterweight champion David Potsane in the white shorts, and former junior welterweight champion in the striped shorts, the blue and gold, Aaron Kabi.
And the pattern remains. Potsane trying to get through, trying desperately, but every time he throws a punch, Kabi's there to slip it, move out of the way of it, get under it, do something, but he leaves him. He looks straight into the target area and he lets one go on his own. And this is what's been going on all the time. Kabi snapping in good shots and getting home with them.
Well, listen to the corner there, Norman Slabani, the corner of Potsane, saying, you've got to throw combinations. And this he's not doing. He's throwing one punch at a time, and he's just walking after Kabi. And Kabi's just clipping him, picking it off.
Because what happens, the whole idea of combinations falls apart, because the moment Potsane throws a punch, Kabi retaliates. He counters so well that he's catching him and stopping him from throwing the second punch.
That's exactly what's happening, Leonard. It's been a tactical contest, this. Very clever boxing coming from Aaron Kabi. Using all his years of experience, conserving himself and just picking off the punches. But he can't afford to get careless, and this he does on occasions. Good right hand there from Kabi.
Good conditioning on the part of these two men, particularly Kabi. He's looking very good.
Well, he's in Willie Locke's gym, and I believe he lives at the gym, so he trains every day, looks after the young fighters, so he's always in condition.
Moves away around the ropes so well.
Well, it'll be...
Potsane trying to pin him down, can't get there. And as he comes forward, looking for a shot, Kabi just calmly just brings his left hook over, bangs it off Potsane's chin. He does it so incredibly easy.
Well, it's interesting, this, if Kabi wins this fight, which he should do if he just stays out of trouble, Kabi against Peter Malinga, that should be a very, very good fight.
Yeah, Malinga got a points decision against him once, but I wonder if the condition was the same then as it is now, because Kabi looks really in tip-top shape.
Well, that night that he fought against Peter Malinga, it wasn't the Kabi we really know. He seemed very stale, and he wasn't himself. So I reckon that return fight will be very, very interesting, but much more at stake with a title, possibly a title fight.
Of course, there is a bit of difference there where you've got a 22-year-old like Malinga who hits very hard and who can keep up the pressure. Well, a bit different to the aging Potsane here. That would be a little bit harder for.
And it's also a 12-rounder, Leonard, so it's a longer distance, which make it much more difficult.
A good punch there from Kabi. That banged in, and that really stung Potsane.
Well, another very good round there for Aaron Kabi.
Well, here you see the slow motion. Potsane doing his level best to get through with something, but he's not getting there. Although in this instance, I think it was a case of Kabi almost falling, grabbed around the middle.
always come from this side, hit him hard on the side of his head. See, the right as well as you can. Okay, veteran leave and throw. Right? Nice and hard, hold it.
He wants to counter you, so now you allow him to counter you. No, you jab, you cover up, you throw punches to the body.
Okay.
That jab, it's just to let you get him in. Bah, bah, bah.
We're into round 7 of this scheduled 8-rounder, and David Potsane is going to do something very special here because he possibly is quite a few points behind, and he's got to pick it up now.
Yes, Kabi calmly moving around in this fight as he wants to. He knows, I think, that Potsane is possibly a fighter on the slide. He's a fighter not the same as he was a few years ago. He's doing his level best as Potsane, but that level best just isn't good enough to get him into the fight itself. And Kabi is controlling it very much as he wants to.
I think it's a little bit of desperation here from Potsane as he lunges forward, and Kabi easily ducking out of those blows.
Well, we've seen a boxing display here, the likes of which we haven't seen for quite a long time from Kabi, or from anybody else for that matter, because this is really skillful stuff.
Well, he started his career back in 1984, so that's what, 13 years, the 12 years he's been a pro.
And he's showing all the pieces of those years being put together here into this ring, because this is skill, doing just as he wants to. Look how he turned his man around there, came over the top with the right hand, banged it away. Potsane just did not have any answer to it.
A good left hook's coming there, double left hook there from Aaron Kabi. Great exhibition of boxing skills here by Aaron Kabi. Well, been an easy fight for referee Alfred Bukwani here. He hasn't had much work to do. Here in the 7th round, the pace slowed down slightly, which is understandable.
I don't quite know what Potsane's trying to do here, because 3 times they've been broken and 3 times he just walked in and grabbed hold of Kabi. Whether it's frustration or not, I don't know.
Well,
but
possibly frustration and desperation.
Because every move he's made has proved to be a false one. Kabi has just picked him off, done what he has wanted to. Really a controlled performance by Kabi.
Well, Potsane hasn't landed one clean shot in this round. And possibly because Kabi hasn't allowed him to. Well, David Potsane, look, is he tired or desperate, or what is wrong with him? He's showing very little here in the 7th round.
In the clinches there, Kabi even looked over Potsane's shoulder and grinned at some of his friends in the crowd. It's really been a fairly easy night's work for the old veteran.
Wow, look at his corner. Norman Slabani really desperate. Doesn't know what's wrong with his fighter. That's been all Aaron Kabi. He's winning every round here.
Well, we're coming.
This is the 8th and the final round.
It's the 8th round, the final round of this welterweight battle. Aaron Kabi in the striped pants against David Potsane in the white. But up to this stage, it's really been, although an interesting fight, and a very, very good display by Kabi, it's been a one-man show.
Oh, yes. It's been all the scoring punches coming from Kabi, and the only way that Potsane can win the fight is to score a knockout. And he hasn't looked as though he can connect with Kabi.
And there's nothing that Potsane has done that could suggest he might come through with a knockout, because his punches have been right off target.
Kabi very cleverly keeping him off balance there. As he comes in, he just jabs there and catches him with a left and right. Oh, a good punch coming in there from Potsane to the jaw. One of the better shots he saw, but one of the few that got through.
There's that neat body sway of Kabi's. It's that body sway that's nullified just about everything Potsane's tried to do right through this fight.
Well, you can see it's Potsane now chasing after Kabi, because he knows he's got to do something special here in the 8th and last round.
You can see Kabi's hardly raised a sweat. He moved round rather effortlessly right through the fight.
Kabi countering very well and keeping Potsane off balance as he lunges forward. A real boxing exhibition here from Aaron Kabi tonight.
Yes, he's making Potsane miss badly. He's doing everything just correctly to show who is in full control of the fight.
As you mentioned earlier, Leonard, possibly Potsane on the slide at the end of his career.
Yes, you get the feeling here that the reflexes are no longer as sharp as they used to be.
Yeah.
And look at that. He throws a right-hander, and Kabi just with a flick of the head rides away from it.
He's missing. He just can't tag Kabi. Kabi's just that bit too fast for him, just too clever.
A very clever display right through this from Aaron Kabi. There's the snappy left going in.
Yeah.
3 of them in a row, of course, Potsane. All the punches coming in that are landing are coming from Kabi.
Well, only the last 30 seconds here now, and it's all Aaron Kabi. Possibly only one round even out of 8. Kabi's done enough to win just about every round.
He's a comfortable enough winner.
Well, David Potsane's left it too late now. He can't win a knockout, so that's it. Aaron Kabi must take his fight comfortably on points as we go into the last few seconds of this 8-round welterweight contest.
Yes, it's just about all over now. I think that there's a very happy Kabi with his hands in the air.
Why boo the man? A very good exhibition of boxing from Aaron Kabi. I thought he did very well. He showed what boxing's all about here tonight.
That was skillful. That was skillful altogether. Our overseas viewers may wonder why we've been praising up Kabi like this, but he is coming up 36. He's been one of the real true veterans of the ring in this country, and he's really coming into what we can call a second life, because he faded out for a couple of years, but he's come right back in, and tonight he gave a really spanking display of good, skillful boxing.
I thought he looked very good. It's the best I've seen Aaron Kabi look for a long time. Moving well, counter-punching, conditioning very good. You can't fault him.
He's the former South African junior welterweight champion. Potsane, of course, the former South African welterweight champion. So 2 old champions meeting, and they're good old friends. They embrace in the middle of the ring.
It's nice to see that, Leonard.
Kabi has beaten Potsane twice before in their meetings, both times on points. And I'd say right now he's pretty safe for having made it 3 in a row.
Well, this good win here for Kabi. He'll go on to fight for this. He must be a contender for the South African, the vacant welterweight championship.
Yes, I think that's on the cards, that whoever came out of this fight would get the recognition to be, well, in the running for a shot at the vacant title. Peter Malinga looks like the number 1 man, the Transvaal champion. But there again, if it's Kabi going to go in with him, Kabi will find it a little bit tougher than he did tonight, because Malinga is a youngster at 22, and he's forceful, strong young man with a big punch.
And he packs a big punch, as you say.
Packs a big punch, and he's got plenty of go in him. You can drop him, and he gets right back. But anyway, we're going to get something on the decision now. We're waiting for it, so it's... Here we go, over to Dennis Diwali.
Ladies and gentlemen, the judges score the fight as follows. Judge Horn 78-76, Judge Meyer 79-77, Judge Smith 77-76. The winner by unanimous points decision, Aaron Kabi.
Well, I'm rather surprised with those scores because I would say Aaron Kabi won it by 4 or 5 points, Leonard.
Oh, I think the judges were a little bit lenient towards Potsane. There are some boos and I can't understand them. They must be Potsane fans.
Well, it was a real boxing exhibition from Aaron Kabi, and all the scoring punches came from Aaron Kabi.
Ah, yes, he was in the picture all the way after that pretty even first round. From there on, he controlled things. There he is. The
winner, Aaron Kabi, on points over 8 rounds against David Potsane. A great win for Aaron Kabi.
A very scientific win.